Commander Replay, Aurelia has spent the last year forging a new arsenal of weaponry. Can her new weapons of war take down Jhoira, Sliver Legion, and Raff Capashen? Find out next on Commander Replay. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Aurelia the War Leader, Weapons of War, Dominaria updates. Actually, technically M19 updates now. Take a look at our opening hand. Looks solid. Let's keep. We've got mana. We've got tutoring. We've got an equipment. And we've got a creature that likes to be equipped. Those all sound good to me. So we're playing Aurelia the War Leader. We will be facing off against Sliver Legion, which is the all slivers get +1/+1 for each other sliver on the battlefield. Ooh, that's a nasty one. Jhoira of the Get To is 1 blue red for a 2/2. Pay 2, exile non-land card from your hand. Put 4 time counters on the exile card. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Jhoira deck's pretty nasty. It'll probably suspend some Eldrazi and things like Obliterate and destroy all permanents, and then the Eldrazi come down. It's a bad time. And then finally, Raff Capashen, Ship's Mage, is a 3/3 with flash flying, and you may cast historic spells as though they had flash. Interesting. Jhoira makes me nervous, and Slivers make me nervous. Now, the one thing with Sliver Legion is that it is more likely that they're actually running a Sliver deck. If you're just playing 5 colors and need a commander, you're more likely going to use the Indestructible Sliver, a Sliver Queen, just because there's places to use extra mana with Sliver Queen. You probably wouldn't use Sliver Legion as a 5-color deck that isn't playing Slivers. So, ooh, our turn 1, that's a Soul Ring. Yeah, let's play the Soul Ring. Play the Umezawa's Jit, and we will pass the turn like that. Predatory Sliver coming down. Other Slivers get +1/+1. Jhoira's Time Bug. Ooh, that's a Godo. Godo's pretty good. This turn, I think it's going to be the Armory Automaton, and we will choose to equip our Jit. We could play the Steel Shaper's Gift right here, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get this tap land down instead. I think that'll be a better move for us. Sliver, Venom Sliver. Slivers you control have Death Touch. Opponent's going to send a Sliver into the Jhoira opponent. So one of the reasons I've been waiting this long to actually show the deck is because with this particular deck, I have found that you either win the game and it's not close, or you lose the game and it's not close, which hasn't made for a particularly interesting viewing experience. So I've just been having trouble finding a game that I actually like, and with all the new commanders that have been coming out, I haven't had a ton of time to play Aurelia. So with Helm of the Host, Aurelia is now prone to, well, do you have Aurelia and Helm and enough open mana? And if no one has removal, the game just ends. Or someone just goes bigger or faster than you before those things happen, and then you kind of get blown out that way. So like I said, it's been blowouts either in my favor or not in my favor, but neither of which have been particularly interesting to watch. So that's why we're waiting till now. Anyway, that brings it back to our turn. Let us... The blue-white player makes me nervous. All they're doing is... I'm going to go Steel Shaper's Gift. I really want Sword of Fire and Ice right here. I want to shoot down the Jhoira, and I want to be drawing more cards. Let's play this... We need to get some lands. We need colored lands down, so play the Marsh Flats. Play the Sword of Fire and Ice. Where to attack? We're going to try the Raff Capashen opponent because we really want the Sword of Fire and Ice trigger. So looks like we're going to get capsized. A little bit annoyed about that. But when there's a Jhoira opponent at the table, yeah, that is frustrating. And we'll crack the Marsh Flats while we're here. Grab a land. We'll get the Sacred Foundry and bring it in tapped since we have nothing else we can do. Bone-sized Sliver. Sliver creatures you control have double strike. Ooh. Slivers are getting powered up, and they're 1 mana away from their commander. Not great. Not great. So Sliver's going to go back into the Jhoira opponent. Sounds good. Opponent going to play a Basalt Monolith. Astral Cornucopia coming down. X1. We draw a Plains. Plains mostly not helpful. Play the Flooded Strand right here. We could just cast Aurelia. That's a thing that we could do. We could cast the Armory Automaton. We could cast our Armory Automaton and then crack the Myriad Landscape. I think I like that plan. Cast the Automaton. Use the ability. Get everything equipped up. Crack this fetch land. Get Plateau. And then crack the Myriad Landscape. Get 2 more planes. And pass the turn. Ooh, that's a Mazavith for our opponent. Ugh. That's going to make our sword plans kind of difficult. Essence Sliver. Whenever a Sliver deals damage, its controller gains that much life. Oh, Slivers are kind of a problem now. Still sending everything into the Jhoira. Sounds good. Jhoira is bound to lose a lot of life right here if they don't block. You're not going to throw Jhoira. Suspend something on the way out. Here it comes. What is it? We've got... Looks like a Reality Strobe and the Mirari Conjecture. Weird. Well, it's not Eldrazi, so we could probably leave Jhoira alone for a little while. Jhoira goes down to 22. off of the Sliver hit. Slivers are up to 50. And oof. Opponent's going to Time Bug on the Reality Strobe. So Mirari Conjecture and Reality Strobe will tick down and suspend. There's a face-down creature for the Jhoira. It's probably either Willbender or Retachroma, would be my guesses. Everflowing Chalice kicked 2 times for the Raff opponent. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Gilded Lotus. Let's play the Homer Path, actually. And we have exactly enough to get Aurelia down with the Gilded Lotus. Send Aurelia into the Slivers. And I'm going to send the Armory Automaton over to the Raff opponent. Let's see if opponent realizes that they have Maze of Ith. And the smart thing to do would be to Maze of Ith the Armory Automaton. Yep, there it is. All right, so Armory Automaton gets mazed. And that is until end of turn, so even the second combat step isn't going to do much for us. We'll swing into Slivers again. Leave the Automaton back on defense. Slivers down to 44 at 6 commander. Next turn, we have the mana to cast Godo and equip Helm of the Host. We'll need opponents to tap out, but if they do, that'll be the game. Sliver Legion going to come down? Sliver Legion would be trouble. Coat of Arms, just as bad. So, Coat of Arms is down, and these Slivers are huge. They don't have Trample yet, that's good. And looks like they're coming our way. So, I mean, we basically just need to survive, is the name of the game right here. Do a little damage check right here. It's 10, that's 16, that's 23. That 23 is very lethal. So, Automaton in front of the big one. That'll save 14 damage. How much we can take now? That'll be 10, 20, 26. It's still a lot. Do we throw Aurelia in front of the Bone Scythe Sliver? I believe that we do. Try to keep our life total high so we don't just die to other random shenanigans on the board. Also, if we have no stuff in play, people won't really think of us as the threat, which I also like. Opponent's going to Maze of Ith their Essence Sliver. That's fine, actually. That'll keep our Armory Automaton alive. I'm down for that. Time Bender, you say. Remove 2 time counters from target suspended card. Gonna remove some counters from the Reality Strobe. That's fun. Time Bender. So Reality Strobe coming down. Ooh, gonna bounce the Essence Sliver. Nice, so that gets rid of Double Strike. Probably would have gone for Coat of Arms, honestly. More mana to recast. But either way, that will save us a lot of damage. Aurelia does go down, but we're still at 22. Opponent's going to Time Bug their Reality Strobe again. So Reality Strobe, by the way, gets re-exiled with 3 more counters on it. There's a fun little cycle out of Future Sight that does that, where they come back every 3 turns. Illusionist Bracers coming down for the Jhoira opponent. Equip the bracers onto Time Bug? Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Oh, nice. Luckily, opponent doesn't have anything too scary in the exile zone. No Eldrazi or Obliterates or anything like that. Oh, man, that's funny. What does Mirari's Conjecture do? I should actually know what this does. When it comes into play, it'll return an instant, return a sorcery, until end of turn, copy. Okay. Still lots of room to be nasty right there, but no cards in their graveyard currently. Wonder if they have something that they plan to do with that. Raff Capashen coming down. Opponent playing it at sorcery speed, even though it has flash. Does give them the ability to flash down their other artifacts. Question is, do we think that they have a counterspell? The answer is, I don't know. I mean, I think we try it. Let's try Godo. Godo coming in. Get to search for an equipment. It's a Helm of the Host. Equip the Helm of the Host. Helm of the Host is equipped. This is probably going to do it, unless someone has something. Godo comes in, making another copy of Godo. Another copy of Godo, non-legendary. Search for another equipment. Let's get... I'm actually going to get the hammer right here. Equip the hammer onto the... Let's say this one. I don't know if that was correct. At this point, it doesn't seem like it's going to matter, but it could. Never know when it could. Attack these Slivers. Automaton trigger and a Godo trigger. Automaton, not going to choose any... We can steal the Illusionist Bracers, but shouldn't matter. Do not use the ability. Opponent has no blockers. They're going to eat a bunch of damage. 2 counters on the Jitte and shoot... We'll shoot the Sliver opponent. There's a Crucible of Worlds. So, next combat step, next Helm of the Host trigger. Another Godo coming down. Actually going to get the Swiftfoot Boots right here. Equip those onto the original Godo. Swing into the Sliver opponent. Get more attack steps. Opponent says they can bounce one thing. I think it may already be too late for that. Another Godo coming down. One opponent says they have a Swords to Plowshares. Alright. So we may need to try to protect ourselves a little bit here. Let's try a Feast and Famine. And equip that onto this Godo. I'd like to untap our... mana. Then we can get Sunforger down, and that'll save a lot of heartache for us. Opponent's going to Time Bug on the Reality Strobe. Opponent's going to Reality Strobe. What are they Reality Strobing? Opponent's going to Reality Strobe on the boots. Well, that actually gets rid of haste. So we won't be able to untap with the sword. Good play by our opponent. But actually, they probably should have gone after the... If they went after the token, then I think it would actually break the loop of combat steps. Opponent's going to Swords to Plowshares on the original. Okay. That'll take the helm off. So we're going to get one more attack. We'll attack like this. Oh, nope. Still more Godo triggers to go. Get at least one more attack. Opponent's going to block with their Time Bender. So Slivers goes down. They're at 0. Helm of the Host, unfortunately not equipped to anything. Ooh, and actually we lost our Godo token that would have untapped. Nope, still got another combat step. We have a lot of stored up combat steps. Man, if I knew we were going to be taking so much less damage, you could have just left Aurelia, and Aurelia definitely would have finished it. But in the meantime, I think we're also going to shoot down the Time Bug and pass the turn like that. So turn 6, we were able to eliminate one player. We did have a Soul Ring start this game, which does mean we're going to be fast. But congrats to our opponents for actually breaking the loop on us. I probably could have placed the equipments better, I think. Not sure if that would have helped, but it may have. Captain of the Mists coming down. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, untap Captain of the Mists. You may tap or untap target permanent. Interesting. That doesn't seem like it's going to do all that much. So Raff passes with all their mana up. That makes me nervous about a Cyclonic Rift. I'm going to equip this sword onto the... let's put it on the Godo. Then we'll try to re-equip the helm. Put that on this Godo. Time crafting. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a card. Reality Strobe. Gonna get us again. Reality Strobe putting in some work. Still our main phase, though. Opponent should have waited until our combat step to do this. Might be able to take advantage of that timing issue right there. Opponent's gonna Reality Strobe one of our Godos. That is a token. Interestingly, the original Godo is now gone, so we don't have a way to get that back if we lose. So let's try the Helm of the Host on this Godo. Go to combat. Get a Godo token. This time I'm going to get Sunforger. Equip that right here. Actually, I'm going to equip it to this one. Send that over there, and this right there. This right there. So 2 Godo triggers, Armory Automaton trigger. We'll re-equip the hammer. And we'll steal the Illusionist Bracers. Cyclonic Rift? Ether Spouts. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll get rid of all of our Godos. Armory Automaton goes to the bottom. For each deck, I can put it on the top or bottom of its library. Automaton I'm actually going to put on top. And the tokens will cease to be. So another combat that we have no creatures left to attack with. Reality Strobe ticking down for the Jhoira opponent. They're going to get to do something with Mirari's Conjecture. Let's see what they have. Mirari's Conjecture going to the graveyard. Opponent only has 1 card in hand. For their sake, I hope it's a good one. And equip the Illusionist Bracers to the Captain of the Mists. You may tap or untap target permanent. Oh, that's actually really good. That can slow our attacking down a lot. Also pretty sure we forgot to play a land last turn. Ooh, opponent's going to use their Captain of the Mists. They needed to leave that untapped. If they left that untapped, they could have stopped another attack of ours. Opponent can recast their commander. Yeah, they really should have left that untapped. Oh, it does untap because it's a human. I forgot about that part of it. Wow, okay. So, opponent's got some life. Opponent's showing some life there. Captain of the Mists, huh? Interesting. Brings it back to our turn. Oh, man, Raff passes without doing anything. That is the worst. Play this Temple of Triumph. Return to Dust, eh? Leave that as a card that we do want. So, let's get the Swiftfoot Boots down. Play the Armory Automaton. Gobble up all of our equipments. See if opponent uses the Captain in response. Does not, and now we have protection. Nice. What to do right here? Let's get this Crucible of Worlds down. I want to start getting this Myriad Landscape in and out of play, assuming that the game also just doesn't end. So go to combat. We're going to get a copy of Armory Automaton. Steal the Illusionist Bracers. Oh, we already control the Illusionist Bracers. Or no, it doesn't change control. It just equips it to our creature. Nowhere to send the other Automaton. We'll just leave it back on defense. Alright, so we get 3 triggers. We get a Sword of Fire and Ice trigger. Use that on the Raff Capashen, actually. Get some Jitte triggers. Get a Sword of Feast and Famine trigger. 2 damage to the Raff Capashen. Draw our Return to Dust. Shoot down the commander. Opponent's going to stunt double. Enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. That could be... Alright, I know how to do this. We're gonna have to use Sunforger. Let me guess. Copying the automaton. Oh, no, just going to copy their commander. Well, that's fine. If they copied the automaton, they could equip all the stuff to their guy, although we could just take it back on our turn. But they would get a turn before us, so that's a thing. So their commander goes down. It's probably time to start Sunforgering. I'm going to go for a Sulphurous Blast right here and clean up all the creatures on the battlefield. Opponent's going to use the Captain of the Mists, do some untapping. Untap their Basalt Monolith. It's going to tap our planes. That's actually annoying. I should have tapped that in response. Gonna Sulphurous Blast everything away. Re-equip the Sunforger. And pass the turn. Reality Strobe ticking down. Paradox Haze, nice. Works really good in a Suspend deck. This is a really interesting Magic card. There's a lot of things you can do with this. Especially now since most cards do good things during your upkeep. Back in the day, things generally did bad things during your upkeep. So, Paradox Haze is really interesting. Where it shows up most is in any of the epic spells where you can't cast anything but you get 2 copies of the epic spell. Jhoira coming back to play. That's an Evanrol's Disc. I would have just flashed that down instead of the stunt double last turn. Totally just went for the disc, but we should be okay. That's a dramatic reversal. Oh, I see. Use the disc. That is a good time for us to use our Sunforger. I'm going to go for Boros Charm right here just because we can recycle that. We only get 1 use out of the Fairy's Protection. Where Boros Charm we can recycle back with the Mistveil Plains, which I like. So since it seems like opponents are going to try to fight us all the way through this, I want to try to keep as many resources available as possible. So I think we need only the Boros Charm right here and not the Teferi's Protection. Oh man, that hurts our opponents so badly, and now we've pretty much locked the game up. They have 2 mana left between them, and now we just cast our commander and pound out the damage. Opponent's saying GG. There's our Argentum Armor. That one's fun. 5 mana left between 5 mana left. We can exactly enough to equip Helm of the Host onto Aurelia. Go to combat. Get another Aurelia. Send that there, and send that there. 2 Aurelia triggers, an Automaton trigger. We get a Jitte, we get a Feast and Famine, we get a Fire and Ice. Shoot the Jhoira opponent with the Fire and Ice. This should take him down. That it does. We draw a card. It's a Glorybringer. We get another Aurelia. We go to combat again. We're going to pick up our Sunforger. Yes. Sword of Fire and Ice. Feast and Famine. Jit. Draw a Mirror Consator. Get another Aurelia. And do it all over again. And there it is! Aurelia, Weapons of War, taking down the table. So, a few thoughts on this deck. I like it in that it's fun and it's powerful, but I've kind of shifted away from equipment-heavy decks of late. They are really prone to tempo blowouts when your commander gets blown up, and then you have to recast your commander and then get it re-equipped. It's kind of a huge pain in the butt, and you lose a lot of time and a lot of mana doing that. But the payoff can be really good in that you just slam people for huge amounts of damage. So I've sort of shifted away from the heavy equipment style of play that this deck focuses on, but it is still something that I like to mess around with every once in a while. There's so many different tools in this deck. Sunforger is just ridiculous. We can draw cards like crazy with Fire and Ice, Mask of Memory. Because a lot of things in the deck, we didn't even see any that have double strike. If we double strike and attack with Aurelia, you can get 4 triggers off the swords, which is really crazy. But the big thing with this deck is that Helm of the Host completely changes the flavor of this deck. Because in many of the games that I've played, most of the things that I've done before casting Helm of the Host actually don't even matter that much, other than if they produce enough mana for me to execute that combo. Like, if the only thing you do is attack with Sword of the Animist all game, and then someone plays like a Planar Cleansing, and then you go Aurelia, Helm of the Host, most of your early plays don't even matter. So it has this really weird way of kind of shifting what the deck wants to do. In the back of your mind, whenever you're tutoring for an equipment, you're always like, should I be getting Helm of the Host right here? How long do I think this game's going to go? If I think I have enough time and mana to get it down and equipped to Aurelia, then you go for it. But if I feel like I need to generate more value first, that's where I went for things like Sword of Fire and Ice at the beginning, because our hand was starting to get kind of low, and I just really wanted to look at some additional cards. Plus, I wasn't sure what kind of deck Jhoira was playing. They weren't playing the super high power Eldrazi Jhoira deck, but at that time I wanted to keep Jhoira off the board. Now, we didn't actually get any value out of Sword of Fire and Ice until much later in the game, which was a little disappointing, but that's how it goes sometimes. But anyway, this game was unique in that we actually equipped Helm of the Host and didn't just immediately win the game. Our opponents actually had some counterplay. This is actually the first time where I've been disrupted once I've had the helm attached. And that being the case is that I think I could have sequenced the way that our equipments came down and who I attached them to much better when we were on the Godot plan. But I honestly just haven't had to really deal with that much counterplay once it's equipped where that's really become relevant. But opponents actually were able to stop our loop. So good on them. Made this game a bit more interesting. Now, they weren't really able to further their own board states any. They were just trying to deal with ours the whole time. So it would have taken them a really big play to actually start to try to get ahead in the game. But the other thing too is that we had turn 1 Soul Ring, and that just speeds you up so much. I mean, we got the Jit down on turn 1, and then the Automaton down on turn 2. Somehow we didn't resolve any attacks with that until much later also. But yeah, so anyway, if you like equipment decks, it's a pretty sweet little deck. It is a little clunky, especially if you have to recast Aurelia and try to get her re-equipped. It can be kind of a pain in the butt. And that's where things like Samut, I think, are a little bit better because you can do it at the end step with Flash. It's also 1 less mana, which is pretty relevant. So equipment decks do have some weaknesses in that spot removal is really good against them. And we took a lot of targeted bounce and Swords to Plowshares type of stuff in that game, which did slow us down quite a bit. And I'm surprised that we were actually able to still get there through all of that, because normally when that happens, someone else just does something huge and crazy and then you lose. Which the Slivers almost did. The Slivers weren't that far away from being able to kill us. If opponent doesn't reality strobe on the Sliver, we probably would have gone down to like 10 life, and then we just die to basically anything else the following turn. The thing that I'm interested in trying next is playing a really control and combo-based version of Aurelia, because, like I said, the way that Helm interacts with this deck, you can basically just sit there and play board wipes all game until you get late enough and then just go Aurelia, Helm, and that'll probably clean the game up. So I think that's another direction for this deck to go. But on the other hand, if you like this sort of polarizing style of we're either going to win really big and it won't be close, or we're going to lose really big and it won't be close, then this is definitely a deck to check out. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.